So this is the colonnade at the back of the entrance to Sancucci Castle. Now I'm not finding the correct place to stand in order to let the sound carry to the end of the gardens. This is some of that Moorish science that was used. Now I'm not even in the middle actually. So in between these two pillars might have been the original place where all the pillars align, but I don't know if the pillars have been reconstructed. I don't know if there's been any kind of repair happening, but I'm going to try to keep walking until all the pillars align with each other, and this is the way to get the most out of a Roman Byzantine colonnade. But you have to find the right place to stand, and some of these pillars do align really well, but some of them might have been repurposed or reconstructed. But the perfect place would have been as you open the door and you leave the palace, and then you're facing the southern courtyard, which used to be the northern courtyard, and this very much should be the main entrance, but it's not. And I don't think the people who reconstructed this building were aware of that, because some of the new pillars are not aligned. These are all aligned perfectly. But I don't know where I'm going to stand. There should always have been a marking in the middle of one of these colonnades to tell you where to stand, to get the sound to carry, and it does carry incredibly far. And this is very much a lost science of the Moors, the Byzantine Empire, and a lot of Ottoman colonnades. This is just so beautiful. As you walk further, you will see different pillars align. This means you are at a different point on this star map that was often followed in these esoteric teachings. So now we have really no pillars aligned, and now it should suddenly come into view, and then a lot of the pillars will fill out in between the gaps of the previous pillars. So this is pretty much perfect. Yeah, this is pretty much a perfect geometrical lost science of Sancucci. And I'm not getting the name right. Sancucci. I don't even understand the name. I don't know what it has to do with King Frederick the Great, the King of Prussia, but he definitely didn't build this. This is not an 18th century architecture. It could be a Renaissance revival style, but I don't think that's what it is. I think we're looking at some real Byzantine Greco-Roman architecture. I think this is Tartaria. This is the city center. This is still Berlin. We are still on the outskirts of Berlin. Most people don't realize it's the palaces that tell you where Berlin began. And yeah, it's just like the old symbolism is just too intelligent, because when subsequent castles were built, like maybe even this area was built, maybe even connected to the colonnade, that was not the intention. Colonnades are rarely built into palaces. I think the colonnade came first, then the palace came first during the reign of the Prussian Empire. Charles Formosa, just enjoying studying the geometry of this beautiful colonnade in Sanssouci, the summer palace. This is obviously the Sun Palace. Then there's a Winter Palace. The Winter Palace I may also get to in my lifetime. The Winter Palace can be found in Japan. Charles Formosa, Germany, Berlin, Sanssouci Palace. This palace, also facing Mecca. So I don't think Champs-Élysées is actually one palace. I think we're talking about at least 4 parallel palaces, courtyards, and fountains. The alignment of the fountain with these very much African obelisks that are obviously popular throughout the entire world. It could be that the obelisks themselves have some reference to Tartaria, and that the Moors have some relationship with Tartaria, because what I'm looking at now is not Prussian Renaissance revival architecture, but in fact the real thing. Sculptures that could not have been created after the Great Reset of the 1700s, but in the age of Tartaria and the dawning of man, the dawning of knowledge of man, wherever that knowledge came from, is yet to be determined. But the eastern gate of the eastern courtyard is profound in every way and might be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It is structured in a high arc with fountains that are no doubt referencing a biblical ascension. It is called the Neptune Grotto, and it's in Sancucci that I've actually witnessed before. But these fountains do seem very similar to Hindu architecture, where everybody has this opportunity to reach these higher levels of consciousness. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 fountains, and then you have Neptune, the god of the sea. Of course, we are all born, we are all birthed, so we are very much sea-going vessels in Greco-Roman mythology. And we are all lost at sea until we find Neptune, and he tells us what to do with our lives. Everything here has symbolism, detail, architectural detail. We have Pan here with his horns, the god of wine and the frolicking, the freeness of mankind. That's what they're offering us. They're offering us a return to the ocean, a return